I still remember the sound she made when she noticed the windows. One by one, she walked through that trailer staring at empty screen frames like someone had robbed the place blind. And technically, I guess I had. But here's the thing. Those screens were mine. Every single one of them. Installed by hand. 9 straight hours of sweat, sliced fingertips, and patience. And after the way she treated us, there was no way I was leaving my hard work behind for her to enjoy. If you've ever dealt with someone so toxic that even the smallest act of revenge felt unbelievably satisfying, hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in. Because this story proves that sometimes petty revenge is the most healing kind of revenge. Full narrative expansion. When my husband first suggested buying a mobile home with his stepmother, I honestly thought it might be a fresh start for everyone. At the time, we were struggling financially. Nothing dramatic, just normal young couple problems. Rent kept going up. Groceries were ridiculous. Every paycheck disappeared the second it hit our account. So when his stepmother offered to split the purchase of a mobile home, it sounded practical, affordable, temporary, manageable. And at first, she seemed normal enough. That should have been my first warning sign. Because some people don't show who they really are immediately. They wait. They smile in your face long enough for you to get comfortable before the mask starts slipping. The mobile home itself wasn't glamorous. It sat in an aging trailer park where half the mailboxes leaned sideways and every porch had at least one broken lawn chair sitting outside. But it was ours. Well, partially ours. And that mattered to us. My husband and I poured ourselves into that place. We didn't have money for expensive renovations, so we focused on little improvements. Tiny upgrades. The kind that make a place feel like home. Fresh paint in the kitchen. New cabinet handles. Small flower pots outside the entrance. And eventually, the window screens. Now, this might sound ridiculous to some people, but I absolutely adore my cats. They're chaos wrapped in fur. Sweet for 5 minutes, destructive for the other 23 hours of the day. Normal window screens didn't stand a chance against them. They'd claw through them in weeks. So after doing a ton of research, I found this super durable pet-resistant screening material online. It wasn't cheap either. I remember staring at the total before clicking purchase thinking, please let this be worth it. It cost way more than regular screening material, but I figured it would save us money long term. And installing it? Absolute nightmare. I spent an entire Saturday doing those screens. 9 hours. 9 hours. My back hurt. My hands were sore. At one point, I sliced my thumb with the screen tool and wrapped it in paper towels because I was too stubborn to stop. But when I finished, God, it felt good. The windows looked amazing. The cats could sit there watching birds without destroying anything. Sunlight poured through perfectly. For the first time since moving into that trailer, it genuinely felt like home. Then his stepmother changed. Or maybe she stopped pretending. It started small. Passive-aggressive comments. Oh, must be nice to spend money on luxuries. Little remarks about how much electricity we used. Complaints about groceries disappearing even though we bought our own food. At first, I tried to keep the peace. I'd smile, apologize, offer compromises. But toxic people don't want peace. They want control. And once she realized we weren't completely dependent on her financially anymore, things escalated fast. She started entering our space without knocking. She'd criticize everything. The way I cleaned. The way I cooked. The way I dressed. One night, she literally stood in the kitchen watching me make pasta and said, "No wonder money's tight if you waste food like that." I remember gripping the wooden spoon so tightly my knuckles turned white. My husband tried talking to her multiple times, but every conversation somehow became our fault. She was the victim. Always. If she screamed at us, we were disrespectful. If she insulted us, we were too sensitive. If we avoided her, we were ungrateful. Living there became emotionally exhausting. You know that feeling when someone's presence changes the entire atmosphere of a house? Like the second you hear their footsteps, your body tenses automatically? That was our life. And the worst part? She acted like the trailer belonged entirely to her. Never mind the money we'd contributed. Never mind the repairs. Never mind the improvements. In her mind, We were just guests she could bully whenever she wanted. The final blow happened during one massive argument in the living room. I can still picture it perfectly. The television buzzing softly in the background. The stale smell of cigarette smoke lingering in the air. My husband standing there completely drained while she screamed over him. "You two would have nothing without me." That sentence hit hard, because we had worked ourselves to exhaustion trying to make that place livable. And suddenly I realized something. She didn't appreciate us. She expected ownership over us. That night, my husband and I sat awake in our bedroom whispering back and forth in the dark while our cats curled our feet. "We need to leave," he finally said. And honestly, the relief I felt hearing those words almost made me cry. So we did. It wasn't easy, but we found a way out. A small house. Nothing fancy, but ours. Completely ours. No manipulation. No screaming. No walking on eggshells. Just peace. Part of leaving involved signing over our ownership portion of the trailer. Fine. Whatever. At that point, I just wanted freedom. But while packing up our belongings, I noticed the windows. Every single one still had my expensive pet-resistant screens installed. And suddenly, after everything she'd put us through, I got an idea. A tiny one. Petty. Beautiful. Completely justified. I waited until the final day. The trailer was mostly empty by then. Boxes stacked near the front door. Dust collecting in the corners where furniture used to sit. My husband walked in and found me sitting on the floor with the screen repair tools. He looked at me, looked at the window, then immediately started laughing. "Are you seriously taking the screens?" I didn't even look up. Oh, absolutely. And let me tell you, removing them was way faster than installing them. One by one, I popped those screens out, carefully peeled away every piece of expensive mesh, rolled it up neatly, stacked it in the backseat of our car. The entire time, I felt lighter, not because the screens themselves mattered that much, but because for once, she wasn't getting the benefit of my labor after treating me terribly. She didn't deserve my effort. She didn't deserve my kindness. And she definitely didn't deserve premium. By the time I finished, every window in that trailer had bare empty frames. It looked ridiculous. And honestly, that made it even better. A few days later, we heard through another family member that she was furious. Apparently, she walked through the trailer ranting about how childish we were. Which is funny because if it was just screens, then why was she so angry? That's the thing about petty revenge. The value isn't always in the object itself. Sometimes it's in the message. And the message was crystal clear. You don't get to treat people horribly and still enjoy the things they built. Months later, my husband and I sat in our new home watching our cats press against the freshly rescreened windows. Sunlight spilled. The house was quiet, peaceful, safe. And for the first time in a long time, I felt completely relaxed. No criticism, no tension, no toxic energy hanging in the air. Just us. My husband looked over at the windows and started laughing again. You know she's probably still mad about those screens. I smiled and shrugged. Good. And honestly, that tiny act of petty revenge healed something in me. Because after months of feeling powerless, dismissed, and disrespected, I finally took something back. Not money, not property, just dignity. And somehow, that felt even better. Reflective wrap-up. People love saying you should be the bigger person. But sometimes, the bigger person still takes back their window screens. And maybe that's what karma really looks like. Not grand dramatic destruction, but small moments where toxic people realize they can't keep taking from others without consequences. If this story satisfied your petty revenge soul, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's the pettiest revenge you've ever seen someone pull off? And trust me, there are plenty more stories like this coming soon.